Jai Gurudev. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev. So, Bhagwan has given the opinions of 4 different kinds of people, and then he talks about his own ascertained opinion. So, the 4 different opinions are what? So, one is Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam. So, giving up all the desire-based actions. That is sannyasa according to the Kavayo, the wise people. And Sarva Karma Phalatyagam is according to the Vichakshana, those discerned people. So one set of people think that it is giving up all the Sarva Karma Phalatyag, giving up the renunciation of the results of action. So the wise know sannyasa is renunciation of action for desired objects. The learned people say renunciation of the results of action is tyaga. Whereas there is another set of people who say tyajyam dosha vadityeke karma prahur manishinaha. The manishinaha, they are also the wise people, another different set of wise people. They think because karma is doshavat, because it is inherently defective. And for this, Nana had given 2 perspectives. One dosha is because any karma that is done, when you do it with that kartritva bhavana, it gives you papa punya, and that binds you more to the world. And because of that, you need to take another birth. That way, it is defective. And the other perspective is that because karma is born out of ajnana, it cannot really purify, as in it cannot be the one to liberate. It is only jnana that liberates. So any karma that you do that way is defective. I think yesterday we had a little difficulty here. Today it was a little clear. If anyone wants to share, please go ahead. And then the 4th one is, the 4th set of people think yajna dana tapah karma na tyajyamiti chapare. Others, the other set of people think that these 3 things should not be given up. And then he starts with saying, Nishchayam shrunume tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyaghra trivida samprakirtitaha. So, the most mature of the Bharata family, listen to my ascertained opinion about this renunciation. O Arjuna, tiger among men, renunciation is well stated as threefold. He also explained why Arjuna is called Bharata Sattama. Because of all the people that were assembled there, it was only he who had this doubt and this conflict, and he was overcome by this extreme compassion. Everybody else was there ready to fight, start, shooting the first arrows or begin the fight, the war. But it was only Arjuna who had this dharma samshaya as to what is to be done. He was confused, and If you remember in the introduction to the Gita home study, Swamiji had talked about growth. Growth on a physical plane, it happens naturally because there's no choice. Once a baby is born, the baby will grow into a child and then an adult. That is physical growth. But what is important is emotional maturity. And that comes in when you have the purushartha of, the moksha purushartha starts. And that is what will steer you towards emotional maturity. Otherwise, we will only be eat, sleep, and make merry and die, and again repeat the whole cycle. So that was what was different between Arjuna and the rest of them. That is why Bharata Saptama. Let's keep this Manana session interactive. Everybody, please unmute and speak. Otherwise, it should not become like what China said, even Nana says, it should not become a monologue again. Because only when we speak and share, we will help everybody else also grow. That is the whole purpose of the Manana, right? Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, okay,
So,
good.
Ramaraj, so one thing, not today's session, I'm just generally saying this, we should have a very clear understanding of what is moksha, right? And that is the most important thing, because only then we'll take the right steps to not reach, actually, that's the wrong thing. So moksha, each one of us may have a different idea of what is moksha, right? Like even in different philosophies, they have, like in some cases, moksha means reaching Vaikuntha or Kailasa or whatever, right? That is maybe one school of thought. For some people, it might be reaching heaven, maybe moksha. Different people have different interpretations. So that has to be very clear. Only then maybe whatever we do in our day-to-day life also, we'll maybe consciously think, is this leading me to that goal? So I think that definition of moksha has to be, though we have done so many
But that
sessions.
is, yeah. But moksha is pretty much defined in all of these things, right? I know, I do understand, like, that the thought, when, in practice, at least, I come from Tamil Nadu, and where they say moksha debaradana, like when somebody died, and then the 10th day function, that's what they say. So in that sense, yeah, what you said is correct. Like whether they went to Vaikuntha or Surga, what not, that's what we thought it moksha, but it's not. Because clearly, time and again, we read that moksha is it's just freedom. You're seeking the freedom from all this suffering, which can be happening while you're living. It's more like realizing the self and acquiring knowledge and realizing the self. That's probably what moksha is. Sorry.
It has few things. One is to remove the veil of Maya to uncover who you truly are.
The ignorance, yeah, veil of ignorance, and then, yeah, go ahead.
So the whole,
From to,
yes, go ahead.
I'm going a little back to today's session. What I got clarity was about what is dhanam, what is tapa, and what is yajna. Though I'm still a little not very clear with yajna, but dhanam I got, and tapas. I used to think tapas is enduring the opposites. But today Nana said no, that tapas is, the Nana said that the wise people who have I don't know who the name of the person is who gave a definition of what tapas is. Now again I forgot, but
Yeah,
that
that
was
is
an
a
eye
different.
opener for me.
Yeah, it's a different perspective. It's a deeper perspective. Tapa, of course, is forbearing the opposites. That is there. But this tapas that this Mahatma has given, the explanation was, the interpretation is, constantly thinking about the Atma Vishaya, Brahma. That is what we are. That is what, again, coming back to what Vijayji was talking about, what is moksha? So when you are, that's Tadeva Chintanam, that is there at the back of your mind. That is tapa. That also is a form of tapas, isn't it? You're steering your mind from going outwardly to, you're holding it back, you're teethering it inwardly. So from manaha, you're making it namaha. That itself is tapas.
And
Thinking
what
of
was the definition for yajna?
yajna was when all your daily activities are in tune with this. That is what was mentioned. Like see, for instance, this Svadhyaya is in tune with that, isn't it? Is in tune with uncovering who you are. Study of the scriptures becomes a yajna in the sense. And even the rituals and all that you do, if it is directed towards purifying your mind, then that becomes yajna. One very beautiful thing Nana shared was the flight, the what is that? The
plane has to land in a
plane,
place which
exactly.
is
The plane of knowledge has to land, and for it to land, it needs a clean pitch. And that cleaning, the whole cleaning process would become yajna. So basically, doing karma yoga becomes yajna. That is why even China had mentioned, no, yajna bhav. Everything you do, if you do it with that yajna bhav, whether it is waking up your child in the morning, giving him or her a bath, feeding them, cooking, all those activities, daily activities, you can't but not do. You have to go ahead and do. But if you're doing that with that yajna bhav, that it is brahmarpanam, brahmahavihi, brahmagnau, brahmanahutam, brahmaivatena gantavyam, brahma karmasa. So when you have this at the back of your mind, everything that you're doing is for the Lord. It is by the Lord. It is everything that you're using is nothing but the Lord. It is that with that attitude, if we do, that becomes yajna. And the dana was also so beautiful. I was thinking dana is like you give up your ego, but dana is yajna, jnana dana. Whatever you've learned, whatever little you have learned, you share with others. With clarity, of course.
Whatever Nanaji is doing, that's right.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yes,
No?
he's sharing.
And that is what all of us will also, when we speak up in the Manana, it is also a little bit of dana, isn't it? Because we're sharing our whatever inputs, understanding we have, we are expressing it. So that dana is very, and I remember Sejal Didi, every advanced course, she would say in the end, she would say, when you talk to your friends and everybody, talk knowledge, share knowledge. We normally gossip, we talk about this and that, and politics and mundane stuff. That's fine. I mean, it's nothing against that. But then something uplifting when you're sharing knowledge, when you talk knowledge, it not only uplifts you, it uplifts the other person also.
Very true. And Gurudev was once asked, no, why you're making so many teachers? He said, the best way to learn is to teach. So it's more for us to learn that we have been blessed to spread this knowledge. Okay,
Correct.
the others might benefit. That's a different thing. That's maybe a byproduct, but more for us to get a chance to purify ourselves more and more when you talk that
Correct.
knowledge.
Right. You learn more when you start teaching. And when you share, when you open your mouth and speak, you realize that like what Nana was saying yesterday, within whether you have that clarity or not, where you have some gray areas, it starts acting like a mirror. That is why sharing knowledge is important. So here I was wondering why he called him, oh, tiger among men. There would be some reason why he's called. Like, for instance, Bharata Sattama, because he's most emotionally mature. So, Nishchayam Shrunume Tatra Tyage Bharata Sattama Tyago hi Purusha Vyagra Trividha Samprakirtitaha. So he's kind of elevating him, telling him, he's first called him Bharata Sattama, and then he says Purusha Vyagra. Tyaga, renunciation, he indeed, Trividaha is threefold. See, the earlier four sets of people spoke of Tyaga differently. One said you have to continue doing Yajna, Dana, Tapa. One said you have to give up Karma, Phala Tyaga, that is renunciation. And then one said you should give up Kamya Karma. And then the other one was what? Tyajyam dosha vadityeke. So all karma has to be given up because it is inherently defective. But no one has given this clarity that it is of three types. Tyaga is of three types. Samprakirtitaha, well stated. So the most mature of the Bharata family listened to my ascertained opinion about this renunciation. O Arjuna, tiger among men. Renunciation is well stated as threefold. Yajna dana tapah karma na tyajyam karyameva tat yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishina. Yajna dana tapah karma, an action that is ritual, charity, or religious discipline, na tyajyam is not to be given up. Tat, that, karyam eva is indeed to be done. Yajnaha, ritual, danam, charity, tapascha, and religious discipline, manishinam, for those who are capable of discriminative thinking, pavanani eva, are purifying indeed. An action that is a ritual, charity, or religious discipline is not to be given up. That is indeed to be done. Ritual, charity, and religious discipline are indeed purifying for those who are discriminative. So it is not for the non-discriminative. This means for those who are non-discriminative, for the avivekis, this will not be purifying because they will only have this kartritva bhavana, and then they will only either acquire papa punya and they will continue in this cycle. Whereas for those who are discriminative, it will as though is cleaning up the pitch for this plane of knowledge to land. Otherwise, it will become like those, what is that, kamat manaha swarga paraha, where you do all these rituals, but with an end in goal. with a goal as an end. And even if you're doing charity, you do it out of, and you go on, like Rajasic charity that people do. They proclaim to the whole world that they've done. All those kind of things will not be purifying. That will only add and boost the ego. And yeah.
I want to add something to what we talked about moksha. Basically, this we're talking about Atma. Um, about the Atma Jnanam. Atma Jnanam is about reality in you, whereas they call it as also Brahma Jnanam. I got this from this morning, about Atma Bodh. I don't know anybody else attended that one or listened to YouTube thing. And he also talked about Brahma Jnanam, which is the reality it's around you. So basically, they both are the same. And the jnanam is basically about the knowledge part, but whereas this, they use one word called avagati. Avagati is understanding it. So just having knowledge, accumulation of this knowledge that we are getting from what we are reading and all that is not enough. Understanding it, meaning like kind of experiencing it, is what will lead to this uh, moksha. Basically, not everybody is entitled to this part, the Atma Jnanam or self-realization. It's only for who has the desire, like what we call mumukshus, right? That people who are more related to this karma oriented, or like result oriented, or bhakti people, like they're doing puja and whatnot, but they're more into that for this reaching Swargam or Vaikuntha or whatever, or result oriented, just acquiring wealth and things like that. So for those people, this is not it. So only for people who has strong desire to seek this knowledge and realizing it. Again, you are in bound. You are bound to this time, and um, the, what do you call that? As you're getting older, you're getting lonely, or you having some despair. All these things which you are bound to. So you want to be free from those bondage. So that is what this is about, realizing self and attaining moksha. That, he is much clearer. You guys want to listen to that YouTube video about that. It kind of gives you good introduction to that Atma Bodh.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mara.
You're welcome. I hope. He said it a lot clearer.
Who are you referring to?
This is the Swami Vidananda.
Swami Tat, you were listening to his, right?
Yeah, I was listening to. I kind of missed it also, but I listened to the YouTube video. And it's really, now we just finished the Tattva Bodh, sorry, Atma Bodh. I would encourage everyone to listen to, because um, he says, even he just only went on about only the first sloka. Even that first sloka, he only mentioned that one word, the one sentence where mumukshunam apakshya.
Apekshoyam.
Yeah, apakshoyam. And Atma Bodhi Vidiyate. That's all he explained. And that was almost for an hour. so, so I just want
Yeah.
yeah, it's very good. It's really good for us to follow. Basically, it's a Prakarana Grantha, but even then, he said it is the yeah, great text. He talked about it. Trying to explain it. I think it'd be good for us to listen to that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Especially that we have done Atmabodh twice over.
Yeah.
That's a deeper
And
sense.
and then our goal is to not actually, he doesn't even want to say this is a goal, this is a journey, we cannot say attaining moksha is our goal. It's a continuing journey, so and he gives a lot of different examples of what is accumulation of knowledge is not going to help us, it's a learning. So we are supposed to learn this, and the Shravanam, all these things, we are listening to this, but then we have to understand it. That's that I mean, he explains it really well. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And
Yeah.
before we go on to this, before I forget, are you keen to chant the seventh chapter tomorrow? Nana was specifically asking about you.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even I saw this third cycle, but I'm not ready for it.
Okay, doesn't matter. He
So,
said you just practice seven chapter only several
yeah,
times. Then probably you can do it at a later time.
sure, I will do that definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to find out about it because today also I kind of slept off, and then so I just woke up, said, oh, all right, I need to attend this class.
Problem.
So I missed it today also. I just got caught at the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So an action that is a ritual, charity, or religious discipline is not to be given up. That is indeed to be done. Ritual, charity, and religious discipline are indeed purifying for those who are discriminative. I was just imagining, I'm just letting my imagination run a little. If you imagine a plain field or a circle, and it's like the merry-go-round, everybody else, the non-discriminative people, are doing all of these activities, rituals, charities, and everything, but they're just going round and round and round in the samsara cycle. But the takeoff factor, if someone has to take off into outer space, so to say, I'm just giving you a very wild imaginative thing, is discrimination. And that viveka, with the wings of viveka, you can and with that you do these rituals, charity and whatever, dhanam and tapas, even that beautiful perspective that Nana had given, then you would go into the realms of outer space where you can rediscover yourself. Otherwise, it is going round and round in circles. एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्. O Partha, son of Pritha, tu but etani karmani api, but even these actions, sangam, attachment, phalani cha, and the results, tyaktva, giving up, kartavyani, are to be done, iti me, this is my, nishchitam, clear, uttamam, proper, matam, vision. But even these actions are to be done, giving up attachment and giving up the results. This is my clear, proper vision, Arjuna. So why Arjuna is called Pritha is because it was given, Pritha is otherwise another name for Kunti. And her original biological father had given her this Vritha, but she was adopted by Kunti Bhoja, and therefore she gets the name Kunti. So these actions, what are they? Rituals, charity, and the religious discipline. Yajna, dana, tapa. Even if you take it as the other perspective that Nana had shared, when all of these are directed towards Atma Jnana or realizing who you are, even that has to be done without attachment and giving up the results. And this is where that last shloka of Bhajagovindam comes in. You do it without any hurry. You're doing it, you're on the path, and you do it without that feverishness, without the crave. So they're to be done. And this is my proper vision. Yeah. Anyone wants to share anything else on this?
Dr. Dhanra, the point of Hari
Ha.
was very helpful to me
Ha.
because I am always in a hurry,
Correct.
even for normal work.
Not just you, even I'm like that. So it had applied to me also.
But after that, at least 1%, I try to slow down by remembering what you said.
Correct.
I have forgotten which sloka was it,
Yeah.
but if you post it, I want to read it again and again because I am hyper active.
Right. I know.
Yeah, don't tell everyone that you know.
What? Don't tell everyone about what.
We listen.
That I am hyper.
Dr. Renu, you know, Dharma said the women cannot keep secret, and you told so many women here. So
no, but Dr.
your secret is
Ramla
safe. Yeah.
really knows that I am.
I heard you.
Okay, thank
So
you.
it's an open secret now.
Yeah.
But I've seen you, Dr. Renu, over the last 2 years, and you have changed quite a bit. There's a huge change, so don't worry.
I have put on the group about that caption, Hari.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Ramla.
I am also like you, Dr. Renu. And for me, I had preserved that, and I have set it as my background.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you.
I think every time we realize we are in a hurry, HURRY, if we shift our mind towards thinking of Hari, HARI, I guess it will slow us down. It will hold us, centered.
That's so beautiful.
Can I sorry. I want to tell you a story about this Hari thing. There was one a Desi patient, he was having some chest pain and something. The wife called 911, and it maybe even make me so laugh. So they they took him the paramedics took him to the hospital, and he kept saying Hari Om, Hari Om, right? When he said Hari Om, they understood us. Hurry home, like you hurry home. They brought him back to the home because he kept saying Hari Om. Oh, then why did he come back? Because he said Hari Om. So, do you understand what I'm saying? Like when we say Hari Om, somebody misunderstood as Hari Home, So like it's not, I'm not saying, it's just that when you're saying Hari, then you replaced with the Hari. It just reminded me of that.
Yeah, it is quite hilarious. This is, like your other example, cows grazing. This is
Yeah.
going to remember this.
Yeah, I couldn't, it's
Right.
just one of those things, like people can misunderstand this, what you're saying. That is true with us, like with the Hari, everybody want to have, if you think of something, everything has to happen in a snap, like, so it is not going to happen like that. So you have to be a little bit patient, even, for us to understand and move on with our life, it's really true. So
And if you look into nature, this is what Swamiji had mentioned in the last chapter, last verse of Bhajagovindam.
yeah,
Everything in nature, any creative process in nature, and he was very careful to use his terms creative. Destruction happens in a second. You don't need a lot of time for destruction to happen. Whereas any creative process takes time. It happens in its own time, like the sun rising or the sun setting. How darkness, how dawn and the morning uh, uh, gives way to darkness, and or the other way around. How darkness dissolves and the light shows up. It is not sudden. You have the
yeah,
dawn first, and then slowly, gradually, it all brightens up. Similarly, a bud that is blossoming, it doesn't happen in just a flash of a second. It takes its
yeah,
time to just unfurl. It's so imperceptible, you don't even notice it.
yeah, it's really, even though I had like a short trip, there was some other issues that I had to come back. But it was really that even the trip on the flight, I really enjoyed it. Every small thing was so beautiful, like when you look up the sky and the clouds and stuff like that, and I enjoyed every moment. And even the music they played at the landing or takeoff, like you feel like you're floating in the air. Of course, you're in the mid-air somewhere, it like you could meditate on that music. You wouldn't believe, like, how in India, yeah, for everything, or any message you see, how you can relate all this to what we are reading, um even other groups, they time to time they post messages, like from Gita here, there, and everyday life, somebody is saying something. It's all about what we are reading, so it's so much out there, so in your day-to-day life we misread, so now, learning this, it opens our eyes to see everything and hear and feel, um it's beautiful experience. And as I also shared all that we learned with my family, they were kind of interested in knowing that also. It was nice. So I
So
just
you did
wanted.
all the three. You did yajna, dana, and tapa.
You won't believe, I even told my daughter, usually sitting 16 hours in the flight is not a happy thing, but I ended up having a great flight. In fact, you are applying all this um thing and looking out the window and seeing that cloud looking nice. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Very nice.
Hariom, just wanted to add, like when, as Shankaraji has said in the Bhajagovindam, that the house is on fire. So for Hari thing, I think we need to hurry. Otherwise, for a material world, we can take it as natural thing, whatever is happening. But for
Yeah, I
hurry
mean,
home, as Dr. Mara said, no, hurry for home. For home, we have to keep hurry.
you won't believe
So
I brought
true.
Krishna, the Gita Krishna home, and I brought Periyava, not Adi Shankara, the other other Shankaracharya. They call him Periyava, like he's the oldest saint. Same Shankara. His name is also Shankara. Uh, so I said, okay, I'll have, now that I have Krishna, I probably chant every day. Of course, he's there always, but then I said, okay, I'll sit in front of it, Krishna, and chant the Gita. So hopefully I'll do it.
Yeah, you will.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
I just remembered what Dr. Mara shared just now about watching the clouds in sky. Once in one teacher's refresher meet, Gurudev told us he took us from the VM on the first floor, and then it's open outside. There is a balcony a big gallery kind of thing. And he said, sit here and watch the sky. And he made us, he said, no, don't watch me. Just sit here and watch the sky. And he made us keep on doing that. Like, how you meditate for 20, 30 minutes. He just said, just keep watching the sky. And then when we were doing Vignan Bhairav with him, that time, that was one of the processes, the 108 techniques that Shiva gave to Parvati.
Mm.
It is so awesome, like just
Yeah,
watching.
yeah, exactly. Like when you do meditation in Zen meditation, other places, they kind of ask you to, like, as if you're flying somewhere, like you go up and up a little by little, and then you're in the air somewhere, and you're somewhere in the universe and things like that, So that's what you feel, like you're lighter, in the air or something like it. And whenever they played that music, I mean, it was kind of really nice. I took it as more of really soothing, and went in kind of meditation. That was really nice.
It is akin to Ekatattva Abhyasan. When you keep looking at the sky, for instance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now is time to slow down, calm down. Enough
Right.
of rush. Like,
Mm.
Yeah, I was trying to look for stars. I saw one star because a lot of fogginess, and like I thought it'd be a lot of stars you could see, with the clouds probably hiding it. Yeah.
Gurudev also says, na, sometimes in meditations, feel that you are floating in the air as fish in water. So that really awakened me when I heard it for the first time, that we all are floating in air.
Yeah. So we go to chapter 3. So in fact, it's kind of parallel, because in chapter 18 also now Bhagavan is talking about, going to talk about karma yoga. So it's good that we are on the chapter 3. So we saw how Arjuna says he does not directly accuse Krishna, saying you confused me and I'm confused. He says you seem to have confused me, and I seem, because you seem to be praising knowledge. So my perception is that I have not understood what you have taught, because you seem to praise knowledge. Then moksha is not produced by karma. For a wise person, all the karmas and their results that are mentioned in the Veda are like a well that has been completely flooded over by water. Of what use is the well water when there is water everywhere? You need not search for the well. When the river is dry, the well water is useful. But when the river is overflowing and the well is underneath it, you are not going to go on looking for the well, because it is not going to be of any use to you. Similarly, for the person who knows himself or herself to be full, free from limitation, of what use is an object of security and happiness except for its empirical value? This was how Krishna had praised the wise person. By praising the wise, wisdom is praised. Krishna had praised wisdom in this way and had made it very clear that knowledge was quite adequate for moksha. So Arjuna told Krishna that he was confused by being asked to perform action. Arjuna's confusion was based on his conclusion that either karma or knowledge should be able to take him to Shreyas. Karma, action, is something that can be produced, something that is born out of one's will, whereas moksha cannot be produced. 4 types of results can be produced by karma. Something can be created by you. Something that has already been created can be modified or destroyed by you. Something can be cleansed or purified by you. And a place that is already there can be reached. Whether actions are worldly or religious, they can only produce one of these 4 types of results. Here, however, we are talking about moksha, which cannot be produced. If it could be produced, it would be lost also. If, for example, moksha could be achieved by purifying the Atma, it would take no time at all for the Atma to become impure again. You would have to scrub it every day. Nor can the Atma be reached because Atma is myself. It is not something I have to reach because it is not away from myself. Therefore, reaching it is impossible. Modification of the Atma is also not moksha. What can be modified is subject to time. So moksha gained will be lost. Also, in order for the Atma to be subject to modification, it would have to be an object objectifiable by me. But because the Atma is myself, it cannot be an object in my hands. Therefore, it is not something that I can modify. The self is already accomplished and moksha is identical with it. But Krishna was asking Arjuna to do karma. Therefore, Arjuna asked him to settle on one or the other, either knowledge or karma. If it was to be karma, he wanted to know why. So this is quite deep. So it is clear that moksha is not produced by karma, because karma has there are only 4 results that can happen out of karma. That is, something can be created. Something that has already been created can either be modified or destroyed. Something can be cleansed, and a place that is already there can be reached. Because moksha is already something that is accomplished. It is you. It is not something that you have to do to attain. It is only removal that has to be done. Neti has to be done. The only giving up is required. So, therefore, it is since Atma is not something that can be reached, because Atma is myself. Where will you reach? You are the center. You're trying to go to the center of the circle. You don't need to travel any distance, isn't it? You are there. So what is required is just that uncovering that you are the center.
Gurudev gives 2 examples. One of the student who is passed, means whose exam finishes, and second one is who is traveling and very bored of traveling, means like 10 hours at a stretch, and he want to just get down and he is free. So moksha was there, but he was feeling bound.
Yeah. So there was something else that I wanted to. This for the wise person, all karmas and their results that are mentioned in the Vedas are like a well that has been completely flooded over by water. This was the second chapter shloka, I think. No, we had this. I can't remember this.
Yeah, Udapane, you know, like when you.
Udapane, Samplutas Samplutodake.
It's I only remember the meaning for it. Like for the jnani, the more knowledge is going to be. It be, you
So
know, it's
any more
the
karma,
war.
yeah, any more karma, it is going to be like searching for the well water when the whole area is flooded with water.
Right. Yeah, the pond is overflowing or something like that. Right.
So therefore, there is no need for him to
Do
either
anything.
act or do anything, because he is already there. He's got that wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So here in Arjuna's mind, he is thinking sannyasa is just giving up action, but actually sannyasa is a person who is already there, who's got that knowledge already. So therefore, you cannot compare apples to oranges. But in Arjuna's mind, he's still thinking Krishna is praising knowledge, but he's asking him to do act. He's asking him to act. Therefore, he's got that doubt and that confusion. Yeah. The nature of knowledge. Knowledge is not something that is produced and is therefore different from karma. Knowledge is knowing things as they are. To know that an unclean object is unclean or that a clean object is clean is knowledge, jnana. To know an untruth as untruth or a truth as truth is also jnana. To know the real, satya as satya is jnana. And to know the unreal, mithya as mithya is also jnana. Because knowledge is as true as the object. It is not dependent upon your will. That is one difference. No, for any karma, it requires your will. Like in the example Nana gave today, he said, if you're sleeping, unless you get up, you will not you will not get into all those obstacles and things like that. So it is your free will that makes you get up. Otherwise, you can be sleeping all through. So any action requires your will, whereas knowledge does not require will. I cannot decide that this is how knowledge should be. Knowledge is like it's integral part of everything is knowledge. No, if we go back to the 5 attributes of things, asti, bhati, priti, nama, rupa. So the asti, the is principle is there in every object. That is the truth, of course. Asti, bhati, priti. The bhati, I think, is akin to knowledge. So I can only see the object as it is. Nor can knowledge be modified by my will. The will can set you up to pursue knowledge, but it cannot interfere in the perception of an object. This being the case, jnana and karma are two entirely different things. Arjuna wanted Krishna to tell him whether knowledge or karma would liberate him. Tell me whether I will gain Shreyas by karma or by knowledge. Tell me which one will do it. Do not tell me that knowledge is all right and karma is also all right and that I can go this way or that way. Suppose you go to one teacher who tells you that you should perform karma. Then you decide to go to another teacher for a second opinion, just as you might if a doctor you have consulted recommends surgery. The second teacher may say, "What karma? You should do yoga." Yet another teacher might say, "You must pursue knowledge." It is to be expected that if you go to 3 different teachers, each one may give you a different set of instructions. You then have to find out for yourself which of the 3 is proper. Which teacher is right? There may be a 4th person who is right. It is also understandable that the same teacher may give different advice to different students. One student may ask, "Should I marry or not?" and be told that he or she should marry. Another student may be told not to marry because he or she does not know how to take care of himself or herself. The person is already a dukhi and risks making another person a dukhi also by marrying prematurely. Thus, a teacher may advise his or her students differently. How beautiful Swamiji has explained in how Krishna was urging Arjuna to fight, to act. It is because he's a different mold altogether. He's not in the sannyasi mold at all. He's in the mold of that kshatriya, and he had to perform his action. Anyone wants to share anything in this? So the difference between knowledge and karma is very clear over here, isn't it? Knowledge is true to the object. And to know knowledge, it does not require karma. It does not require a will. But to pursue knowledge, yes, you require a will. But once you've gained knowledge, that's it. It is like, how long does it take for you to bring light into a dark room? All the karma that you require to do, like you pursue knowledge, is to put the switch on. But once the switch is on, that's it. Knowledge, the light just floods the room.
Yeah, Hariom, it makes, I mean, all Bhranti, we know as the things as it is, Bhati. It is so nice that to know that what is unreal, what is mithya is also Jnana.
Jnana.
It's so nice, so beautiful.
Yeah. Arjuna's confusion about knowledge and karma. In the Gita, there are only 2 people involved, Krishna the teacher and Arjuna the student. It seemed to Arjuna that Krishna was saying, knowledge liberates, therefore do karma. Only one student was involved here, Arjuna. It looked as if he was being told, knowledge is okay and karma yoga is okay. Arjuna was therefore understandably confused by Krishna's seemingly contradictory words. There was a similar situation in the epic Ramayana between Prahasta and Ravana. Ravana had kidnapped Rama's wife Sita. This was probably the first kidnapping ever reported and was definitely a federal case. Rama, who was a king, took the case into his own hands. When negotiations for Sita's return were unsuccessful, Rama declared war on Ravana. Ravana had a minister, Prahasta. Summoning him, Ravana asked, "Prahasta, what do you think? Should I give Sita back to Rama? I think we are inviting trouble by keeping her here." To which Prahasta replied, "Yes, Maharaj, you should give her back because we are definitely inviting danger by doing otherwise. We will all be destroyed." Hearing this, Ravana became very angry and said, "Are you saying that we will be destroyed by this Rama, a mere mortal, an ordinary human being? Are you telling me, Ravana, who has 10 heads and great powers, that this puny little Rama is going to destroy me? Never, Maharaj, never, Prahasta replied. Rama is a nobody. He has only 2 hands and 2 legs. With his bow and arrows, what can he possibly do to you? Then Ravana said, but I am told that this Rama is not an ordinary mortal. Prahasta's reply came promptly. He said, Maharaj, do you know what I have heard about this Rama? They say that he is an avatara, an incarnation of the Lord himself, and not an ordinary mortal. Growing even angrier, Ravana asked, do you think that Rama and Lakshmana with these monkeys can beat us? We can beat anybody. When I am the Lord of the 3 worlds, are you saying that these two are going to destroy me? Never, Maharaj, Prahasta replied. How can these 2 fellows with their monkeys do anything to you? Ravana then said, but I am told that the monkey Hanuman is a very powerful fellow. Maharaj, there is not only one Hanuman, Prahasta responded. There are thousands of monkeys. Some of them are as great as Hanuman. There are so many of them that if they all come here, we are done for. Then Ravana asked, are we afraid of monkeys? What, Maharaj? Exclaimed Prahasta. Of course, we are not afraid of monkeys. Varuna, the god of water, comes and waters our gardens. The god of air, Vayu, comes and sweeps our floors. Why should we be afraid of these monkeys? It would seem the Prahasta had read a book equivalent to How to Win Friends and Influence People. The advantage of being a Prahasta is that in every cabinet we shuffle, his name always appears on the top of the list because he says yes to everything. So why was this example of Ravana and Prahasta given in the first place? Is because there was a similar, there was, see, in Bhagavad Gita, there were only 2 people, Krishna and Arjuna. And it seemed to Arjuna that Krishna was saying knowledge liberates, therefore do karma. So that there was that seeming confusion that Krishna had brought in. And knowledge is okay and karma yoga is okay. So just like how the conversation between Ravana and Prahasta was, they're seemingly contradictory words. So Prahasta initially says, we'll be done for, please give up Sita. And then Ravana takes the other stand saying, are we so weak? What is this mere mortal Rama? But then he says, I've heard that he's an avatar, he's very powerful. And then Prahasta swings along with Ravana's words. So it seemed like in Bhagavad Gita also, the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna was kind of similar. What is the topic of this thing? Arjuna's confusion about knowledge and karma. Like how Ravana was so confused, Arjuna is also confused about karma and knowledge.
Hariom, the major difference was Ravana had that big ego. He already knew the truth. And in comparison to that, Arjuna is very innocent and he is very, Antakaran is very pure.
Correct.
Basically, Ravana is ignorant, he wasn't aware of that his strength. I mean, obviously he's egotistic person. Even when Prakasa told him this is what he thinks, he didn't want to believe that, and obviously he punished him for that, got him out of his cabinet and whatnot. So he wants, these people who want to control everybody, want to, control everything. So that's, but then I don't know how to compare that with he's saying he was kind of saying what Pragastha is telling Ravana, that he is not, he is confused. I don't know, he got confused or he just didn't take it.
No, here.
You know, how did he make it compare with Arjuna? That's what I didn't get that part.
No, the comparison between this Ravana, Prahasta, and Bhagavad Gita is the seeming contradictory words. That's all. That is all.
Seemingly confusing. Okay.
Yeah. Seemingly confusing words. See, Prahasta was not in the cabinet. It said people like Prahasta will remain in every cabinet reshuffle because they keep saying yes to whatever the superiors say. They are like those that want to, they're the goody people. They will go with the flow. They will just say yes to whatever the superior is saying. The superior says this person is bad. He will say yes, he's bad. The superior says no, but I think he has some goodness in him. He'll say yes, he's good. So basically, he's just towing the line. So people like Prahasta are those that just fall in line and they just want to be in the good books of the superior. So they will never be removed from the cabinet. But it is seemingly contradictory. See, intuitively, Ravana knows that Rama is out there to destroy him. He is no match. Intuitively, he knows, but because of this thick veil of ego that is there, he is not able to actually accept it. And therefore, he does what he does.
Yeah,
no?
That's true.
So his ministers were always there to inflate his big ego. Vibhishan was not ready to accept that. That's why I think he came out of that, and because he was always telling the truth, like Vidura, what he used to tell to Dhritarashtra. So the difference between all of these people is very remarkable. But Swamiji, I think he just wants to put the confusion word. Ravana already knew the truth. He already knew, but he wanted others to inflate his ego and ignore the fact that he is an avatara. Rama is an avatara.
Yeah, maybe I got confused with another story in Ramayana. You know, this after, Sita and Rama go back to Ayodhya, and then the Kumbhakarna's wife will go to his cousin or somebody, it's one of the asuras, and she said Rama killed Kumbhakarna. How can it be? I need to take revenge on him. So she want to send that person, and that person is given. The minister gives the information that Ravana got killed and Kumbhakarna got killed by this Rama, and how come you're going to go and take care of this guy. So they won't listen, but they still go and then get defeated also. This is after the fact, after Sita has been retrieved from Sri Lanka. Anyway, that story is not anything to do with this, but I thought maybe I confused with that one.
A teacher answers questions. Such pleasantries may be acceptable to those who are anxious to maintain a position. But in Arjuna's case, the relationship was one of teacher and student. In Ravana Prahasta's case, it was one of a superior and cabinet minister, king and a cabinet minister. But here the relationship was of teacher and student. I am your student, Arjuna had told Krishna. A teacher should not be afraid to tell a student what is true and what is not true. If a teacher does not tell you what is true, who else is going to do it? Arjuna wanted Krishna to tell him what was true and not true. Therefore, he was not looking for pleasantries. He wanted to be told what was the one thing that would give him moksha, and did not want to hear about anything in between. He did not want to be told that karma is good and knowledge is also good, because he did not see it that way, even though It looked as though this was what Krishna was saying. Arjuna was as though saying to Krishna, from your own words, I understand that knowledge liberates and karma binds. Why then do you want me to be bound to this karma? Every karma I perform only makes the knot more complicated. If I am to resolve this knot, this tie to samsara, a life of limitation, for which I need and want moksha, then I need to pursue knowledge. But you are asking me to act. Therefore, you must have something in mind. Please tell me what is it, because I do not understand. Such a beautiful way of presenting his question. No? This was then was the thinking behind Arjuna's question, which was really a doubt. Krishna
I'm
answered.
sorry.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who is not able to hear properly? Because I have a lot of background noise. But could you please increase the volume? Am I the only one? The voice is getting lower and lower, Brahmaraji.
No,
Should I?
even I also, same thing with me. Your voice is so clear, Brahmaraji's voice is clear, but it's very, very low.
Is it?
For us, it is not.
So
I
I
don't know.
should log in and log out and come back again then.
Maybe
But
you
your
can
voice
increase
is
the
very
volume.
clear.
Maybe what could have happened in case you've got if you're logged in from your phone and you've got a call, WhatsApp call or something, that can alter your volume. So you have to press on that volume button, press
No, now
twice.
it's clear, Brahmaraji. Now
Now
it
it's
is,
clear.
no call has come and I don't have laptop. I always log in from the mobile.
The phone, okay. Because sometimes
No,
when
but
you get a
Belaji's voice is very clear and loud, and Brahmaraji's voice is a little bit
my
low.
volume is 100%.
For me, it is clear.
Okay, please go ahead. Sorry to
Do
bother.
you want me to repeat any paragraph? Did you not hear completely? A teacher answers questions. Should I read this again?
No,
I think the
Brahmaraji.
last paragraph,
go
maybe we can read that.
Last
The
paragraph.
the Arjuna was as though
Arjuna
saying,
was as though saying to Krishna, from your own words, I understand that knowledge liberates and karma binds. Why then do you want me to be bound to this karma? Every karma I perform only makes the knot more complicated. If I am to resolve this knot, this tie to samsara, a life of limitation, for which I need and want moksha, then I need to pursue knowledge. But you are asking me to act. Therefore, you must have something in mind. Please tell me what it is, because I do not understand. This then was the thinking behind Arjuna's question, which was really a doubt. Do you remember, anyone remembers the difference between the question and doubt that Swamiji had talked about in the initial first shloka, I think? He said there was a difference between a question is when you want to know, but a doubt comes when there is a choice, isn't it? When there are two things and you don't know which one it is, that becomes a doubt. Question is when you do not know, like you are asking what is sugar or what is salt. There is no conflict there. There are no two choices. But is it this or that? That becomes a doubt. Should I go? Should I not go? That's a doubt. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, true. Basically, here he's asking
between
whether
knowledge,
versus the karma, why he wants him to pursue knowledge.
Yeah.
Sorry, pursue karma. he wants to pursue knowledge by becoming sannyasi and whatnot, right? So then he still says for him to fight. So that's karma. So he's asking, why do I do the karma, right? Like, so then he goes on explaining, you surrendered unto me, and then I'll
Right.
take care of that, right? So
Krishna answered him, Bela, is it better now? Are you able to hear me better?
Yeah, Brahmanaji, but I have too much of background noise, so it's okay. I think it may be my side only, the prop. Too much of background noise. That's why I'm not even telling, I'm sharing.
Okay. So Krishna answered him in the next verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Lokesmin Dvividha Nishta Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Shri Bhagavan, the Lord, Uvacha said, Anagha, O sinless one, Asmin, in this Loke world, Dvividha, twofold, Nishtha, committed lifestyles, Pura, in the beginning, Maya, by me, Prokta, was told, Jnana Yogena, in the form of the pursuit of knowledge, Sankhyanam, for the renunciates, Karma Yogena, in the form of the pursuit of action, Yoginam, for those who pursue activity. Shri Bhagavan said, O sinless one, the twofold committed lifestyles in this world was told by me in the beginning, the pursuit of knowledge for the renunciates and the pursuit of action for those who pursue activity. Krishna was not talking here as Mr. Krishna, who was born on a given day at a given time, but as Ishvara, the Lord. Throughout the Gita, Krishna talked as the Lord, except in one or two places where he said to Arjuna, you are my friend. In fact, anyone who understands the nature of Ishvara can talk as an avatara, as Ishvara incarnate, just as Vyasa had Krishna do in the Mahabharata. In the 4th chapter of the Gita, Krishna himself talked about what an avatara is, as we shall see later. So anyone who understands the nature of Ishvara can talk as an avatara, as Ishvara incarnate, just as Vyasa had Krishna do in the Mahabharata. So this applies to all the enlightened masters, like we have Gurudev, we have Ramana Maharshi, Dayananda Saraswati, Swami Chinmay. So they are all those who understand the nature of the Atma can talk as an avatara. Here in this verse, Krishna said that in the Veda, the twofold Nishtha was expounded by him. Nishtha means a committed lifestyle. For example, a person who is committed to the practice of japa, chanting the Lord's name, is called japa nishtha. And when performing austerities, tapas, as the emphasis in one's life, the person is called tapo nishtha. One for whom the pursuit of Brahman is the nishtha is called brahma nishtha. And jnana nishtha, one whose commitment is to knowledge. In this verse, Krishna said that one of the nishtas or lifestyles he revealed to the world in the beginning is for the Sankhyas, the sannyasis, and is in the form of Jnana Yoga, meaning that knowledge is the means. Knowledge is the means for the Jnana Yogi who is a sannyasi because he has no karma to do other than the pursuit of knowledge in order to gain moksha. The other Nishtha, Karma Yoga, he revealed to the world in the beginning is for everyone else, Karma Yogis. Krishna then revealed the twofold Nishtha to Arjuna. The word Sankhya means knowledge and is also used in the Gita by Lord Krishna to mean sannyasa, the life of renunciation. Those who are committed to knowledge are called Sankhyas. And the knowledge that is unfolded so clearly by all the Upanishads, the subject matter referred to as Vedanta, is called Sankhya. The only topic that Vedanta deals with is Atma is Brahman. Therefore, Sankhya means Brahman. And what is unfolded by the Vedas, by the Vedanta, is called Sankhyam Brahma. Because the knowledge of Brahman is called Sankhya, and those who pursue that knowledge are also called Sankhyas, we find in the Gita that the word is also used as a synonym for sannyasa, the lifestyle of renunciation in which knowledge alone is pursued. Because Arjuna wanted Shreyas moksha, Krishna told him about this twofold nishta. Moksha is clearly the end in view, and the nishta is a means to this end. The nishta is twofold because there are two different groups of people. One group is called karma yogis or just yogis and includes everyone who does not live a life of renunciation. For these people, there is karma yoga, whereas for the sannyasi, there is jnana yoga. These two styles are in accordance with the 4 stages of life found in the Vedic culture. The first stage is called Brahmacharya Ashrama, wherein the person lives a studious life with learning as the main focus. The Brahmacharya Ashrama prepares one for the next ashrama, the Grihastha Ashrama or marriage. In Chandogya Upanishad, we read that Swetaketu spent 12 years in the Gurukula, which he joined when he was 12 years old. So, the first 24 years of one's life is the first stage of Brahmacharya Ashrama. The second stage of life, Grihastha Ashrama, where being a householder and raising a family is the primary focus, prepares one for the third stage called Vanaprastha Ashrama. In this stage, a person remains married, but husband and wife live as friends rather than as a married couple. The person continues to perform the various rituals enjoined by the Vedas for householders, but withdraws from worldly activities and lives a contented life. The Vanaprastha Ashrama prepares one for the fourth and final stage of life, sannyasa, a life of renunciation. Sannyasa is the best retirement plan there is because you do not retire money. You simply renounce whatever you have. Renunciation is possible at any stage. Arjuna, who was in the Grihastha Ashrama, wanted to renounce. He did not want to go through the intermediary stage as a Vanaprastha. To remain as he was meant that he would have to remain a Grihastha for a length of time and then take permission from his wife to move on to the Vanaprastha Ashrama, none of which would be easy. Nor was it necessary to do so. For the day a person wants to get out of any of the 3 ashramas, it can be done. When one discovers the readiness, the dispassion in oneself, on that very day, one can take sannyasa. There is a Vedic sanction for it. The sannyasa ashrama is a stage in life where one is absolved from performing all karma. One is freed from all duties in order to pursue knowledge. This pursuit is all that is to be done. Therefore, the person must already be a jnani or want nothing but knowledge. Yeah, so this is, I just want to read the Sanskrit verse over here. This is for, I think, Sankhya or Sannyasa, I think. Sankhyas. Samyak khyayate sa vaidiki samyak buddhihi sankhya. Taya prakashayatvena sambandhi tattvam sankhyam. Om Gim. Tad vishaya buddhihi sankhya buddhihi. Sa sankhya buddhihi esham jnaninam uchita bhavati te sankhyaha. Shambha. So beautiful. I mean, Sanskrit is so, it's just so wonderful. And the way the meaning
many
comes.
vibhaktis, no, Brahmaraji?
Yeah.
Thank you for reading. I was wanting to read this. Thank you.
No. I parked this idea. I said I will first finish reading this English thing and then go to the Sanskrit verse. So that way, Nana gives us so many definitions. I think I have to write down all those definitions. Definitions for Govinda, definition for Sankhya, for. Yeah.
It is from what the Gi means what, Brahmaraji?
Gim. I'm not sure, Vela. I don't know what that means.
Some Bhashyate only, right? Shankara Bhashyate, I think the second one.
Maybe.
No problem. The lines are so beautiful.
Yeah. Samyak khyayate sa vaidiki samyak buddhihi sankhya.
Can you explain, please? And
I think someone who knows, what little I know, I will tell. I'm not sure whether I can give the actual meaning. It is samyak is well, in a nice way. Khyayate sa vaidiki samyak buddhihi sankhya. So it's basically the definition of what a sankhya is. Someone who knows nicely, who knows correctly, that person, that buddhi is a sankhya, is sankhya. Taya prakashyatvena sambandhi tattvam sankyam. So the tattvam, the sambandhi, the relationship of what is sankyam, I think that attribute of such a person is called sankyam.
It's a jnani only.
Yeah. Vishaya buddhihi sankhya buddhihi. So Sankhya Buddhi is actually talking of Sankhya, Sankhyam, and Sankhya Buddhi. So that intellect that has this is a Sankhya Buddhi. Sa Sankhya Buddhi esham jnaninam uchita bhavati te sankhyaha. Uchita is freely, right? So that those people who have the Sankhya Buddhi very effortlessly, I think those are Sankhyas. Maybe we can chant this tomorrow and ask Nana to explain it better. I don't want to put in my little, half-baked knowledge in this.
Jai Gurudev, when Nanaji chants, even though we don't know the meaning of each words, we get to know the meaning of the full shloka, or at least 50% of it.
Correct.
Yeah, and when I try to chant like that, I made so many mistakes.
Yeah.
But whenever he chants, even if a line, it just gives all the meanings. I mean, most of it, at least I can figure it out. Especially those verses from chapters 5, those 8th and 9th, Ashnan Jifan Jaghan. That is so beautiful, and effortlessly he chanted so well. Each and every word we can relate. I mean, oh, this is this. Okay. That was wonderful. Yeah, that I wanted to share.
That is why Sanskrit is such a beautiful language where Vagartha viva sampriktau Vagartha pratipattaye jagatah pitarau vande Parvati Parameshwara. The meaning of the word comes, comes along with the word. Vagartha Vagarthaviva sampraktau, Vagartha pratipattaya. So when that is why correct chanting is very important. When you're pronouncing the word correctly, the meaning actually comes running after that. Just a little care. You've chanted very well, Sheilaji. Just a little care about the hrasva and the dirgha, and maybe a little. See, all of us are in work in progress, no? So, but that way, that practice is what makes us perfect.
Yeah, Nana ji asked me to speed up a bit. Even while the chanting, when I try to speed up, I make more mistakes. Yeah, so I don't know what to do. Yes, but I will not give up.
Yeah.
That Dhruti has been kindled in me. Yeah, okay. Jai Gurudev.
You'll be able to do it, no problem at all. So the 4 ashramas are the brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. And one can take sannyasa from any ashrama. But the only thing is that it has to be ready. When one discovers the readiness, the dispassion in oneself, on that very day, one can take sannyasa. That is a Vedic sanction. So the whole thing is about being ready. Are you ready for that or not? And according to Krishna, Arjuna was not ready, and therefore he did not advise sannyasa for him.
He said before taking sannyasa, he should be a jnani, not only ready or dispassionate.
Correct.
Reminded me of that Rishi Yagyavalkya. He had 2 wives and he took renunciation, and his first wife accepted all his wealth, and the second wife, I think Maitreyi, am I right in the name? She did not. She said that I do not want wealth, but I want to come with you. When he
actually 4 wives.
I can't remember this, but I think, yeah.
There is a story like the 4, I don't know which Rishi or what, but 4 wives, and the wives wanted wealth, health, and last one only wanted gyan. Means when you are going to, when you are dead, only the gyan will help you. Like that. Some gist is like that.
All that again is based on their shraddha, no? Based on their purva janma sukrita vasanas. Those will direct our actions and our intentions, our desires. So shraddha is therefore that shraddhavan labhate jnanam is not just the belief, it's not just the faith. It is your entire way of life. It is your value system. So that has to be chiseled, that has to be fine-tuned. From tamasic and rajasic, it should move towards sattvic. Then, therefore, shraddhavan labhate jnana. Yeah. Fine. I think we'll stop here and we'll continue types of sannyasa tomorrow. Om loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev. Hari Om.